Iran, Hezbollah, the Muslim Brotherhood, Islamic Jihad. He would destroy all this.
100%.
Yeah.
Again, this undermines the story that they've been telling for the last century. So that Jews, and by extension Christians, have no roots, have no heritage in Jerusalem. And if we don't have heritage here, again, the United States then doesn't have heritage either, because the Judeo-Christian heritage, the bedrock that the founding fathers built the United States of America upon, comes from here.
And the truth is, they've been very successful pushing Jews and Christians out of most of the Middle East, where there are thriving communities in all these Arab countries. There are either none, or they're basically underground. They barely exist.
You know what the key is? There's two minority groups that have flourished, or at least survived in the Middle East. The Jews and the Kurds. You know what they have in common? They fight, right? If you're not willing to fight, you're not going to survive in this part of the world. It's not always nice, it's not always happy, it doesn't always look good on TV. But if you're not willing to stand up for your rights, you're going to get crushed here.
And this is a point we were discussing earlier, the great Thomas Paine made, basically. He said, I choose war over tyranny. Because nobody wants to live under tyranny.
Yeah.
Let's keep rolling.
Let's keep going. If you look over here, you can literally see where the archaeologists are up to here. You can see 2,000-year-old pieces of pottery. Again, going back to the time of Jesus. And you're going to find ancient coins in here.
So they
dig with small tools. You know, you're not talking about sledgehammers or anything like that here. Very, very small tools. Now, if you look closely, you can see here, you have little pieces of black soot. Now, what is this black over here? That's ash from the Roman destruction of Jerusalem in the year 70. That we still have remnants of the fires when the Romans destroyed Jerusalem.
You know, and it was horrendous, right?
Yeah, they
slaughtered people, they butchered people.
Josephus says they killed over 1 million people. You know, it's a tragedy. And yet, what we see here with the ash is that, on the one hand, it's the remnants of the destruction of Jerusalem. But on the other hand, we're still here. And it says in the Bible, in the book of Proverbs, that the righteous will fall 7 times and get back up. The wicked fall once and stay down. The fact that we're here unearthing the city of David, unearthing the Pool of Siloam, unearthing the pilgrimage road, bringing it all back to life, is a sign that we chose to get back up.
So when I touch this, this is thousands of years old.
That's right, 2,000 years old.
That is unbelievable. Just think about this. Look at that warhead. No, I'm kidding. But obviously it was cut somehow.
Yeah, I mean here, you can see
of pottery.
All these pottery pieces over here.
There's no question about it. It's just unbelievable. Then this is why this is so important. So when you open your Bible and you read about these things, you look at history and so forth, there it is. It's no joke. Anything about the Palestinians in there?
I don't think so. You know,
any Palestinian coins?
You know, it's interesting. In the Quran, you know how many times it mentions Jerusalem?
0, I heard.
0, right? In the Bible, well over...
But your point is, this is not the holy city of Islam.
No.
And it never has been.
No, even for them, they say number 3, right? For us, it's number 1. And it's always been number 1. And there really isn't a number 2. You know, it's interesting because what's going on now, there are 2 types of tunnels. There are tunnels like these that are bringing things back to life. And then there are tunnels of our enemies, like Hamas, who represent death. And again, it's a choice. You could have a Jerusalem of life, or you could have death, right? And those are the options before civilization as a whole.
It's so true. Right now, there's a stark choice. And that's the way it is. There's nothing in between.
And so for both of our nations, hopefully we will make good choices.
Well, so far we've not, but there we go. We have another shot.
Right.
Jerusalem has been the capital of Israel for over 3,000 years. The walls of the old city bear scars of war and siege, reminding me that to this day, the Jews have had to constantly fight for their freedom and liberty against anti-Semitic hatred and violence. Outside the walls is the modern city of Jerusalem, a thriving metropolis where elements of the old world continue to thrive, while present-day technology carries Israelis into the future. But no matter where I went in the Holy City, there were constant reminders of the innocent men, women, and children still being held hostage by the terrorists. In Israel's largest city, Tel Aviv, Israelis have transformed a fountain in the Dizengoff Square into a memorial. Nearby, artists have created works that honor the fallen and the hostages. One artist has even built a replica of a terror tunnel. I came to Israel to let the people know that I and my family and millions of Americans support them and their war against terror. And while my personal mission was accomplished, the fight against tyranny and evil must continue. As former Prime Minister Golda Meir once said, if the Arabs put down their weapons today, there will be no more violence. If the Jews put down their weapons today, there would be no more Israel.
For all this and much more, sign up for Levin TV.